Focus, I'm not folding.
We're live.
Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Woo! Woo! This evening. Come on.
Look,
Come on.
everyone. Look. I
Come
have
on.
a
Come on into this house. This is not me rapping, guys. I want you to know this is not me.
All right. Thanks.
This is a new song. What's up, Big Dahlia? How you doing,
How's everybody
sis?
doing tonight? Hi, Dahlia. All right.
You know I gotta get my beats on.
While Raymond entertains you guys, I am going to share everywhere. Hey, Elfie's back. Are you feeling better? Hey, Shayla.
What's up, Shayla?
Shayla and Dahlia, we're going to see you guys in a week. Yay. So exciting. God bless you too, Dahlia. Are you guys excited to meet? Are you guys excited that we're meeting?
I'm excited about tonight.
I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited about meeting everyone. Look, we have the same people that we're meeting next week here. So cool.
Oh,
so exciting.
I feel like just dancing tonight. I feel like
get up,
Jennifer.
Get up and dance for all. Get up and dance for everybody. Get up and dance. Jennifer, don't you want to see Raymond dance? Come on, Raymond. Go. Show everybody what you can do.
Dream should be in bed right now. Dream should be asleep. Dream, I think Dream's got an alarm to my voice. My brother Dream in the house.
Dream is here every week for us. Every week. So we got to deliver to him because he's here every week on our thing. Every single week on Transformational Talk.
I can't wait. Look, we gotta. Ooh, hold on. I'm being loud. So how's everybody doing tonight? Today is Wednesday. As you guys know, I like to call it the grind day because I think it's important that we get through the grind, that we don't get over the hump. We don't want to just, my thing is we don't want to just get over something. We want to actually get through something, because when you break through barriers, that's when the process becomes a habit, right? So when people tell me, oh, it's hump day, and I'm like, what does that even mean? Does anybody really even know what hump day means? Do you know what hump day means?
It means we're just like over on to something. We're on we're on the other side of the hump. So we passed the worst part.
So listen.
That's what it means. Hey, Pierre is saying, where did the music go? You took the music off too fast, I guess.
I took the music off because I could party all night. Y'all know me. But so we're gonna get ready to get started. We're just gonna introduce ourselves for those that don't know us, which most of us do. We are like the family, right? We are the team. Together, everyone achieves more. But I like to say, together, everyone attracts momentum, right? Because the whole purpose of this transformational talk with Ray and Sarai is to help build you guys the tools and the resources to fill the gap from where you are to where you want to be, right? And we want to be able to every week give you some motivation, right? So you can go out and start to build your momentum up, right? So my daughter's FaceTiming me for some reason. I don't know. She must not know that we got a show to do. But as y'all know, I am your man, Raymond Wright, and I am the founder of Right Way Leadership Transformational Coaching, and I am your motivator. I want to motivate the heck out of you, but I want to motivate to inspire so I can transform you from the inside out. Because when you become who you are designed to become, everything else will fall into place. And with that, with my home skizzle on the side.
And you know what? You said everything I was going to say. All right, so that's what I was going to say. Okay. We're here to inspire you, to get you to your transformation. And you said it so great. Like you said, we want you to think about like where you're at right now and where you want to be. That space is called the growth gap. So we want to figure out how to get that space filled. Action steps that need to happen for you to get to your transformation. But today we're going to talk about something else. But before we start talking about that, if you don't know who I am, or this is the first time we connect, my name is SARAI NAMMUR. I'm a trauma therapist, licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida, and my passion is helping you transform your transform your adversity, and your pain, and all the stuff you've been through, and get that to be the thing that you step on to get to your greatness, to unleash your greatness. So now that you robbed all my words, I had to like make up some other stuff. So here we go.
Hey man, we just flow. That's what teamwork makes the dream work, right? We just flow. I ain't stealing nothing from you. It's just, you know, when you start finishing each other's sentence, it gets really weird.
Exactly. It does get really weird. So why are you finishing my sentences? Sorry guys, I got some allergies. Well, you just went in and started talking before I did. So
well, that's
trying to steal my thunder.
That's what talkers do. Talkers talk.
Look, Jordan says you woke me up. Jennifer says that hump day means when you're almost to the weekend. When we already so Raymond doesn't like the word hump day because he thinks, or he wants all of us that are, you know, going for greatness. He wants all of us to think that there is no such thing as thank God it's Friday, and there is no such thing as hump day, because we're supposed to be working hard every single day on our dream. So the only people that really think it's hump day or thank God it's Friday are people that are so dissatisfied with their current like work conditions and stuff like that. But for those of us that are chasing our dreams, every day is a great day. Every day is a great day to work. So there shouldn't be a hump day or a thank God it's Friday. Huh?
There's nothing wrong with rest. There's nothing wrong with rest. There's really not. Like I'm you know, if you love what you're doing, and that weekend is your chance to, like, most of the time people really exhaust themselves on weekends, you know, pursuing pleasure rather than purpose. And I'm a firm believer that, you know, if we weren't given this life to pursue pleasure, we were given it to pursue purpose. And when we pursue purpose, we have pleasures along the way, because we get to meet and do incredible things by pursuing our purpose. So I think when people talk about hump day, what I envision, what most people talk about hump day, because I'll be honest with you, most entrepreneurs, most leaders, most people in business that are pursuing purpose, you'll never hear them say home. You will never hear them say home. You won't.
True. That's true.
You'll never hear them say thank God it's Friday. You know what I mean? And I always tell people, be careful, because every day that you say thank God it's closer to the weekend, it's just closer to a Monday too.
Yeah. So let me stop for a second, because all of a sudden I heard some static on you were sounding like your microphone was sounding super good, and then all of a sudden I was hearing static. So I just want to know, like, do you guys hear static with Raymond when he talks, or do you hear static when I talk? But when you talk, I hear a lot of static, which wasn't there before, like 2 seconds. Yes, a lot. I don't know why. Does anybody else hear static? You did something different. I don't know what happened. You didn't have that 2 seconds ago. Yeah, Jennifer says she hears the static. But it wasn't there like 2 minutes ago, so I'm not really sure. So, yeah, it's getting worse. Yeah, it's when you speak, but it wasn't there 2 seconds ago. So I'm not really sure. So today, guys, we're gonna talk about how to stop disqualifying yourself from your greatness. So most of the people that chime into our live cast here, most of the people that are here with us on a regular, we're all people who are trying to go for big dreams, and we're dreamers and that sort of thing. But sometimes we disqualify ourselves from that dream by things that we do. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How is it that we disqualify ourselves? Okay, Ryan is saying check your, it seems like it's on Brother Raymond's end, and she says check your phone battery. No, but he's not on a cell, he's on the computer. I don't know what happened, something changed. It was fine up until 2 seconds ago. Okay, so guys, so we all do this. We all disqualify ourselves or do things that disqualify us from what we're heading towards that big vision, that big dream, and that sort of thing. So we came up with some things. Also, if you guys come up with anything, let me know. If that's something that we don't come up with, you could bring it up. Because we need to be aware of these things so that when we start doing them, we could catch ourselves and we could actually stop ourselves and say, okay, I'm starting to self-sabotage. So basically, when you start disqualifying yourself by doing one of these things, what you're really doing is sabotaging yourself. And before we get into that, I'll tell you, I want you to think about when we sabotage ourselves, it usually has to do because either consciously or subconsciously, some fear came up for us. That's the main reason why we don't move forward with doing the things that we need to do. Maybe we get, and I actually wrote an email yesterday about this, so it's like a coincidence. But for me, I start self-sabotaging myself when I when I do something and it seems to get a lot of actually positive reaction or something like that. And then I think that scares me. So then I end up like subconsciously like falling back and backing off and doing that sort of thing. I don't know if that I don't know if that's, because when we're afraid of success, that really means we're afraid of failure. So that really means, oh, what if I get too successful, or what if I do that thing way too great, and then what comes after that? What if I mess it up then? So we self-sabotage and we disqualify ourselves basically in that way through our thoughts and by the things that we do. So here are some things. Let's see how you sound now, Raymond.
Hello.
Oh, there, you're better. It's perfect. I don't know what you did. There, you're good.
You know what I do? You know what I do? I do what I do.
Hey guys, Raymond got a new microphone. And he's sounding super good. He's sounding super good. Okay, so Shayla says she could relate. Yeah, Shayla, I know you do that because I get you. I totally get it. I'll tell you in private why I got it. I'm not gonna put you out there, but we do the same thing. Okay, so one of the ways
be them Floridians.
Yeah, well, she's from Fort Lauderdale. I'm from Miami.
I said Floridians.
I'm so excited to meet Shayla and everybody. I'm so excited to see them here and like meet everyone. So excited. Hey guys, whoever's watching, a bunch of us are going to meet in South Carolina next week. And it's so exciting. Like Raymond's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Raymond and I have never even met in person. So we're going to meet in person. Shayla's going to meet with us. Igdalia's going to meet with us. Angel is here as well. She's going to meet with us. Carrie and Lori are going to be there. So we're all going to have like a reunion.
Angel.
Yay.
Angel's my girl. Hey, Angel. I got your mail today, Angel. I was going to send a picture of it.
Shayla, we did meet already.
I love Angel to pieces.
Guys, I'm so excited. And we need to go to Africa. All of us need to go to Africa and meet Jareem. And I can't believe
Are we going to get on task?
Clinton's on West Palm. Like he's right around the corner.
Are we going to get on task?
Yes, let's get on task. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to touch on is procrastination. And I know we've all done this. I know we've all done the procrastination, right, Raymond?
I've never done it. I've never done it. I've never procrastinated on anything.
I don't know. I see something in the back of your head that says procrastination. Right. I see it. Do you see it? Like up there.
I don't see anything. No.
All right. So by procrastinating, you know what happens? Procrastination. We disqualify ourselves, and we disqualify ourselves because you know what I believe? I believe we all have a dream.
What are you procrastinating
on? I personally am procrastinating on not doing more video. Because I'm very comfortable doing this type of video like me and you or on Thrive Talk or other things. And I'm really comfortable doing it also when I have people chiming in, like when I have an audience. Like it's really weird, it's backwards for me. But if I have to do a video on my own, a 10-minute video just speaking to myself and putting it on YouTube, I just feel awkward because I'm not speaking to anybody. So I'm really procrastinating on building that muscle like big time. And that's really hurting me because I started the YouTube channel and then I haven't really kept adding stuff to it. So procrastination happens because there's some conflict. Like we want to do something, but then there's another emotion happening that's pushing against what we want to do. So maybe you guys could tell me a little bit of how you guys feel about that, like about procrastination. Do you realize that it is like it's like a conflicting emotions that cause us to not move? We just stay stuck. Right? We take 2 steps forward, then we don't do it, then we do it, then we don't do it. So can you tell us, Raymond, how you do procrastination? What are you procrastinating on, sir Raymond?
Well, I'm procrastinating on quite a bit of stuff, if you must know.
Like what and why? Why do you feel like you're procrastinating?
So I think I heard somebody, where did I hear it? I heard it the other day, and they said they were saying and they were saying you take, we take 2 steps forward and we take a step back. And they were talking about, right, I'll bring this around, I promise. And they were talking about, how we're constantly moving backwards. We have progress, then we move back. We have progress, then we move back. We have progress, and we move back. And my thinking was, yeah, that's true. But every time you take 2 steps forward and you only take 1 step back, there's still progress there. Like you still took that 1 step. The problem with procrastination is we constantly do that, and we never fulfill that ultimate destination. So when we procrastinate is we build up momentum and then destroy it. And then we build up momentum and then we destroy it. And then we build up momentum. And then the things that technically procrastination are the things that are uncomfortable for you that you got to do in order for you to get the results that you want. So it's Mel Robbins talks about count to 5, right? 1 or count down from 5, and by the time you get to 1, just do the damn thing, right? Like just do it. And I'm not great at it all the time. I procrastinate on a lot of things, and I think it becomes as excuses. Procrastination becomes a pile of excuses. I'm too busy. My kids got this. I got to get this done. There's this event going on. There's that event going on. If we really wanted to, right? Especially with parents who are struggling financially, with parents who are struggling in the relationships, with parents who are struggling to make extra income at work for a promotion or whatever, right? We use our kids as our procrastination crutch, right? We think that we have to give everything to our kids. Well, I didn't have it, so I got to make sure they have it. The problem is what we're doing is we're really through the procrastination of our kids seeing us step into our greatness. And the longer we put it off, the more we build that same kind of trait in our children, right? Where they think they got to constantly be busy. I got to have you in 17 programs and 44 this and 44 that. Meanwhile, I'm not doing anything I want to do. I'd rather my kids see me come to everything I can and then chasing my dream, because I want them to know that there's going to be some things that you're going to have to do in order to get where you want to go. And sometimes, you know what I mean? We procrastinate, and we use procrastination sometimes in the things that we love the most. And we make so many excuses. To me, procrastination is just excuse after excuse after excuse. I think if you guys out there struggle with procrastination, put a 1. If that's something that you got to work on, like I would say over the next couple months, is that something you got to work on? Put a 1 out there so we can see who you are. Yeah. So procrastination, definitely, like it's, I was going to say, you made me think about something. So I think like whenever we have like opportunity, I think there's like a window of opportunity. I think when you feel it the most intense, that's the moment that we need to strike at it. So I don't think, like, for example, if you have an opportunity to do something and you're procrastinating, and let's say you procrastinate for a whole year, well, you still might have that opportunity when the year passes, but maybe it isn't the same kind of opportunity. It won't be the same window of opportunity for you. So it's almost like that's a way of disqualifying yourself from that possibility. And maybe other opportunities will come, but it won't be the same. So I think what's important is to like build that muscle of acting and taking action despite, like, if you feel scared, or if or at least become aware of it, because sometimes we're procrastinating, we're not even aware that we're procrastinating. And sometimes we procrastinate because we think we're doing the right thing, but we're only doing the thing we think right is to avoid the thing we know we need to do. Isn't it weird?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly,
procrastination is a
exactly.
tricky thing.
And we make up that's just a justification. We say, that's why you have to have your goals in front of you and read them every day, and you're supposed to be working towards them and doing something for it every single day. Otherwise, you get like lost, you get sidetracked. It is so easy to get sidetracked. It's so
Yes.
easy. It's so easy. So, Angie put
Especially with
one
everything in
right.
front of our face. Everything's put in our face. I do believe that the setup in the world is to keep us from doing great things. It's to keep us, zombie-esque, or whatever you call it, to keep us in front of the screen, to keep us. They entertain. I mean, people entertain themselves to death, right?
Mhm.
Like when I
That's
heard the
major
study,
procrastination. That's
oh,
major
think about it.
procrastination.
When I heard the study, I think it was about 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I heard it. I can't remember who I heard it from, but they said that the average American watches 4 hours of television a day. I can't even fathom. I don't watch 4 hours a month. I'll be honest with you, unless I watch a Notre Dame game. But I can't even sit and watch a whole game anymore because I'm like, I gotta be doing something. There's something that needs
I
to be
know.
done.
I know, me too. It's the same with me. But man, every time you talk, I lose track of what I was gonna say.
Oh, my bad. See,
I
you're
was about to say something and I
procrastinating.
forgot. I
You're
forgot what I was about to say. All
procrastinating.
right. Let's move to the next one because I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Um, oh, I know what I was gonna say. So I see Clinton and Ryan, I'm gonna say, are the ones that I mostly see doing what I'm about to say. Clinton and Ryan are putting out a video like almost every single day. So I want to hear from you guys. Like, are you uncomfortable with doing it? Because this is what I need to do this. I'm just gonna make this all about me right now. I need to do a video, and every morning I wake up and I'm like, I'm gonna do it today. Then I'm like, wait, I didn't do my hair yet, and then I'll spend like hours washing my hair and doing stuff. Then the afternoon comes and I'm like, okay, I'll do it now in the afternoon, and then I'll make the phone ring, and then I'll waste more time, and then the night comes and I'm like, okay, well now it's too late to do it, so I'll just do it tomorrow. And then every day I'm in this cycle where I say I'm gonna do it today, as the morning, afternoon, and night, and I don't do it. This is pure procrastination, guys. I need help with this. Like, what works for you guys? What works? I saw Ryan today. I saw Clinton today. Hasn't been showing up in the mornings anymore, so I'm not even going to mention him. But how do you guys do this? Do you have an issue with it? Is it so easy for you to just turn it on and get started? I just want to hear while we keep moving. So the next thing we have here is giving others too much power. So that's another way that we disqualify ourselves from greatness. So the way that, or from our greatness. So what I want to say is, I feel like that's me with the blog, Jennifer. I know. So giving others too much power. So okay, so we're all gifted. I feel like we're all gifted with something that we're meant to deliver, and we disqualify ourselves when we allow other people to dictate over us or even influence us and turn us in another direction from what our higher wisdom is telling us to do. So that's what I meant by that. That's what I meant by giving others too much power, like giving them too much power to influence us and our decisions and influence what it is that we feel we should be doing. And I think I did that for a long time. I think I did that for a long time before starting Circle of Champions, which is part of the story that everybody's heard like 1,000 times. But I finally, it was finally when I said yes to myself. That's why I always say, everyone say yes to yourself, because it wasn't until I said yes to myself and launched Circle of Champions and did a nonprofit that I actually felt good about. I felt so good, like my whole energy changed, and I felt I attracted so many awesome people, which are all right. I attracted you. I attracted like everyone that's here, and I would have never met anyone if I wouldn't have done that. So that's because I let too many outside voices influence what I was doing for like 2 years when I knew I needed to do this. Is this something you guys are doing? Does this connect with you? Have you allowed other people and other voices to influence you to where you're not doing what you're meant to be doing? You're not doing stuff that's aligned with your higher purpose, with your higher wisdom. Has that happened to you, Raymond?
Yeah, and you keep asking them questions, and everyone's going to answer yes. Everybody's done these things. Like nobody can. You can't be successful in life and not go through these things. The only ones that'll say these things don't bother them are the ones that aren't doing nothing. And I'm just being honest. Like we're being honest tonight, right? Because before I started in my entrepreneurial endeavor and before I actually started to actually like people, none of this stuff, I would have told you, no, I'm not a procrastinator. No, I don't like it. I'm a man. You think I give other people power over me? Because you don't understand. I'm serious. You don't. Clinton, I bet you Clinton could agree with me, because before you really get
Clinton
into
said
this,
follow through. He just said follow through.
Is so important.
Like, shut up and follow through
with everything, right? So but I think you can tell the people that are going somewhere because they are transparent. They might not be transparent with everybody that come in front, but when you sit down with honest, integrity-driven character people who are hungry for success, and success is what it is for you. It could be financially, it could be your marriage, it could be your children, it could be your community, it could be the political field that you're in. Success comes in many ways. But those people will tell you, yeah, I struggle with these things. Again, it's the people who are struggling in life that tell you no one has power over me, right?
Why did you use that voice, that big man voice?
I was thinking of Darth Vader for some reason, but
I'm
serious. So, but if you think about it, is if you're not careful when you have that kind of mentality, what you've done is you've given everybody power over you. When you say, I'm a man, no one has power over me. But every time you hear someone say something about you, every time there's a rumor, you react. You react because you genuinely allow everyone to have power over you. And I think when you make a decision in your life, you have to understand that people are going to oppose you, whether you do everything they tell you to do, or whether you don't do what they tell you to do. What's so funny?
Yeah, I'm laughing because Dream says, "Oh, Ray, I like your mic. You're sounding like you're in my room, brother." Doesn't he sound so much better? Oh my, it sounds really, really good.
Hey,
like seriously.
Clinton said, when you finally realize the ego and realize that you need to fail to grow, impose demand on anything, create apps. You know what, Clinton? So I was listening to Jay Shetty. He was doing an interview with Ed Milet, and Ed Milet asked him a question about ego. And I think it's in Jay Shetty's book, Think Like a Monk. Is that what it's called? Think Like a Monk. And I'm not getting anything from the book. So Jay Shetty, if you're listening, give me some kickback. But no, but he said that ego is a funny thing. And he said that somebody was talking to him, and he said the problem is you're allowing your ego. You have too much ego. And the guy says, I have no self-confidence. I'm hard on myself. How's that ego? And Jay Shetty said, well, let me explain something to you. Ego is when everything's going your way and you're winning, you think you're the highest of the high and you're self-made and nobody can help you. But the other problem with ego is when you think you're the lowest of the low, you think that nobody can have it worse than you. Either way, your ego is standing in the way for you to change. And I think it's so important, because when man, I tell you what, I think the most important thing for people who are trying to do something is to understand that people can have power over them when they're pursuing something. Because like me, especially because I am a spiritual person and I do put Jesus Christ first, people will tell me, I'll get messages from people that are pretty nasty that tell me that I use God in order to move my business forward. And then I get people to tell me, oh, well, you don't use enough God. So either way, people are going to attack you. And if you're a human being, some of that stuff will affect you. And you'll start to question yourself. So you have to have tough skin. You have to have rhinoceros skin.
So, you know what, as you were talking and I was reading also like what Shayla says, it took a lot to break out of my mindset of people pleasing. The other thing that popped in my mind, another way that we allow other people to influence us, or we give too much power to others, is when we start scrolling through Instagram and Facebook and that whole, I don't think I do this too much. I don't think I do this at all, actually.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
but the whole comparison thing with other people, like that's another way that we disqualify ourselves, because no one could be us. Like there's no one in the world like Raymond. There's no one in the world like me. There's no one in the world like Jennifer, Shayla. So the minute you start comparing yourself to someone else, or start comparing your journey to someone else's journey, you automatically disqualify yourself at that point, because there's no comparison. There's no comparison. So I think that's another one that I hear a lot of people struggling with, and I struggle with a lot, but for some reason that's not something that I really struggle with. But that is a big issue with a lot of people that I hear, like looking at what other, and why is it that we can't look at someone else that's doing great and admire them and say, wow, how did they get there? And I wonder what are some things I could learn from them, as opposed to comparing myself to them to put myself down. We don't have the same journey.
You know what I think it is too, and respond to this if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of that goes to when we play the comparison game. If you look back at your childhood, if you look back at the way you were raised, I can remember this, right? I can remember driving through a nice home in Potomac, Maryland, where they're $1 million homes. And I can remember my stepfather and mom saying, I bet you they're divorced. And I bet you their kids are running crazy on drugs, because they made it seem like in order to be wealthy that you had a dysfunctional family, that money was bad, right? So the comparison game we play is, what did I always think? Even as I was growing up, you know what I mean? I was a hard worker. I'm a blue collar worker in the mechanical field, and I'm looking at people who are driving around Porsches and Ferraris, and they have these beautiful homes and they're going on vacations. My thoughts, what? I bet you their marriage sucks. I bet you. So we carry on these things. We really do. We carry on these traits as we get older. And what I learned was this, is those people want nothing more than to truly teach others how to get where they're at. But but people like me we judge them. We prejudge them. That's the prejudice. We prejudge people before we give them a chance. And we just think what they are without actually asking them. So the comparison game, I think that's where that comparison game comes from. You know what I mean? When think about this, when I coach youth football, the one thing I used to tell the parents on day one of practice, we would have a 45-minute parent meeting. And I said, I don't want you to tell your kid anything except for how proud you are of them. Because I know the kids who come on my football field and their mommy and daddy's telling them, why is Billy starting over you? Why are you not playing more than Billy? You're so much better than Billy. Then that kid comes to practice. He's a jerk to Billy, and he doesn't try as hard because his parents are pumping his head up so much.
Yeah,
so it really does start, I mean, does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course it does. And you gave that example. That's a really good example. Like that's I've seen that happen a lot. And it's like, and I know Jennifer's here, so I know she really doesn't like that. But that's a good point that you brought up. Because we teach, by doing that, what you're actually doing is teaching your child to first minimize themselves, and also you're building that muscle for them of comparing themselves to others. And unfortunately it is like that a lot. So the next one that we have here, when we go into negative thinking of others, is a representation of lack and self-hate. Yes, exactly. But that Shayla, that's such a good point, and that goes a lot with what Raymond just said, because when the parents do that, they are teaching lack and self-hate by doing that. And there might be a reason why one kid is better. Maybe that kid has their parent who is throwing the ball at them, more often than the other one. So there could be reasons that go back to that. But let's go to the next one. The next thing that we have here is a lack of gratitude. So we disqualify ourselves when we're not grateful for the good things that are happening, meaning the progress that we're making. If we're making progress, because sometimes we're making a lot of progress, but instead of noticing the progress that we're making, maybe because we were raised by that parent that you're talking about, we, instead of seeing, the progress that we as an individual are making, we're looking at, oh man, look how much farther I have to go. I'm so behind Billy, and I'm so behind this person, or whatever. I don't know why I said Billy.
So Billy, I just want to tell you, hey, you guys want to know something? So everybody knows I used to be a troublemaker. So every time that I would get like pulled over or get in trouble, I would tell him my name was Billy.
Maybe that's why you.
That's
Oh my god.
Sorry.
It is
Hey,
teaching
when do you
division.
think,
That's very good. That's very true, Ryan.
when do you think gratitude should start? When do you think, like, when you say gratitude, a lack of gratitude, when you say lack of gratitude, how can you teach? How can you train somebody? How can you show somebody how to start to have gratitude? Somebody who's always been beaten down and broken, and you're telling them be grateful, and they're thinking to themselves, literally, there are people who think grateful for what? Like,
right.
how? You see what I'm saying?
That person who says grateful for what? If I were to ask them what is their consistent emotion on a daily basis, I bet you sadness will be one of those, because people who don't know how to do gratitude have a lot of sadness. And for men in particular, men don't usually admit to sadness, but they do admit to anger. So anger is just another form of sadness or anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't mean to make you, the pointing case in point, but you just raise your hand. But when you cannot have gratitude and feel sadness at the same time, unless it's that melancholic type of gratitude where you're so grateful and you feel it in your soul that you're so grateful about whatever it is that it brings you to tears because of joy. That's that joy melancholic type of thing. But you cannot feel sad and negative while experiencing gratitude at the same time. I'll tell you, like with my daughter, what I do, well, you know this already, but what I do with my daughter, I'll tell the audience, what I do with my daughter is I have a gratitude journal for her. So every day she writes,
and how old is she?
She'll be 8 on Saturday.
I just want people to realize that, because it just goes to show you, man, if you start them at an early age, it's really powerful.
Yeah. So I didn't learn this as a child for sure. But my daughter, I have her write on, every day I have her write, what are some good things that happened today, which is basically being grateful. What are some of the good things that happened today? And also in the morning, I have her write in there, like, what are her intentions for the day? So she already knows what the word intention is, because having an intention for your day, having an intention for who you are, having an intention for how you want to show up in the world. And for those of us that are on here, and I know like Shayla and people who are vulnerable and Elkie, those of you out there that are vulnerable and tell us who you really are, the same way Raymond and I do, we need to have intention with who we are and how we want to show up in front of people, regardless of how you're showing up, which is extremely difficult if we're people pleasers and we're influenced by others. So I have an intention as to how I want to show up in the world and who I want to be, regardless of how you're showing up in front of me. So imagine how difficult that is. Regardless of you, I still know who I want to be every day. And that takes a lot of intention. So my daughter, I have her write a little on her gratitude journal, a little bit of like what she's happy about, what happened today. And in the morning, I have her write what is her intention for today? What does she intend to do? So she knows what those two things are. And by giving you my daughter as an example, what that means is that every day you could be doing this to yourself, and you need to start building that muscle. And if you do that, whether you want to do it or not, then you're going to help yourself, and you're building the muscle of doing things because you must do them, not because you feel like doing them. Because I don't feel like doing a whole bunch of stuff, but I have to do it. I have to show up and do it. And this is something I just started.
Go. Please go. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys.
That wasn't even nice. That wasn't even nice. You're like, oh my God, gosh.
No, because she already called me and I texted her. No. She got in trouble at her mom's house. That's why she's home.
Oh, okay.
She's not supposed to be here. So don't make me the bad guy.
Now I got talked to like that, people. You saw that?
Hey, you guys see how she immediately I want to tell you guys another thing. Never prejudge a situation.
Why are you talking into your microphone? Hey guys.
Because I'm telling them a secret because I don't want you to hear. Like, never prejudge a situation because you don't know what's going on.
Oh my God.
Shayla. Thank you, Shayla. Thank you, Shayla. Shayla gets it. Shayla gets it.
Shayla have your back all day long. I don't even care. So listen. You know what's funny? You're enjoying that microphone way too much. Sorry, guys. I have to pick on him sometimes. All right. Anyway, that was funny. That's you look like you're enjoying the microphone way too much.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
Hey Ray. Okay, so let's see what Dream says. Hey Ray.
I love what Dream said. Dream, you're completely correct, brother. That is exactly right.
Read it. What did he say?
Basically, he's talking about if God, God uses you or God blesses you to move your business forward, so what? He says the I can do is to ask you to teach someone else how to do it too, basically, so he can move his business forward and teach. Basically, it's really what it is it's, I'm going to tell you this. It's, what's up, Queen Brandy?
I know, I'm cracking up at Brandy's message.
I'll tell you this. It's you giggle way too much.
Just laughing at Brandy. I'm laughing at everybody's comments.
Pay attention. Pay attention.
All right, go talk. Just talk. So I'll laugh at the comments and you talk.
But you throw me off track because I want to laugh too.
Well, you don't have to pay attention to me. Just speak to everybody.
It's hard, but it's hard for me to pay attention to the comments into what we're talking about because then I forget everything and then I start talking about other stuff. So I was just going on and on because I forgot what I was saying.
Oh God. So we were talking about lack of gratitude, how lack of gratitude disqualifies you. That's what we were talking about. Guys. Can we go to the next one? So what's the antidote to that? What's the antidote to having a lack of gratitude? I would say, so in order to qualify yourself, yes, but in order to qualify yourself, notice, like if you need a notebook to do this, Raymond, I'm speaking to you right now. If you need a notebook to do this, write down every night, like, what did you do good today? Like, what steps did you take today to get closer to your dream, to get closer to your goals, whatever word you use? Okay, so today I called 5 more people, or today I did this or that. Oh, we got something to talk about tonight, by the way. I just remembered something because Raymond has a big thing he's doing. He's going to be talking about right before we get off. But so talk about
sometimes just be grateful you got a clean pair of underwear.
Well, specifically, we're talking about how you disqualify yourself from your dream. So you should be grateful for the progress you're making every day, guys. Be grateful for the progress you're making every day. Be grateful for that you are doing your best. You're doing, with whatever current circumstances you have. Like maybe you have a nagging wife. Maybe you have a husband that doesn't support you. Maybe you don't have enough money. Maybe you're sick. Maybe your children are driving you crazy. Whatever it is, give yourself credit that you're still showing up and you're doing your best. Check out your progress, check it off and notice it and be grateful for it rather than to go, oh man, another day went by and I didn't do everything I was supposed to do. Like that negative energy doesn't get you anywhere. That negative energy doesn't give you more energy and more fuel to do more things. Why are you laughing? Because you're not talking to you?
No, I was thinking about that old Dunkin' Donuts commercial. You remember the guy who would get out of bed and he'd be like, not another day. Another day. Oh my God. And he'd walk half asleep down the road to dunk. He would go to. I'm sorry. Oh I don't know what made me think of that. But you
become more.
How many people, like, especially during COVID, really exposed a lot of people, including a lot of so-called leaders. Because what it did is in the middle of a crisis, leaders arise, and those that call themselves leaders who've had things that really have went easy is they lack the gratitude. So when COVID came and people were getting laid off, people were losing clients, people were losing, they weren't grateful. They weren't grateful for the time where it was successful. They weren't grateful for when it was going good. So when it got hard, so many people, I'm telling you, so many people in the leadership field put their tail between their legs and they're nowhere to be seen right now. It's because they weren't grateful when things were going well. And then when things hit them hard, they didn't know how to kind of stay in that momentum because they didn't practice. Gratitude is a practice, by the way. Being grateful is a practice.
It is. And I know it's hard to do when things are going rough, but that's where you really got to go at it. And everything you just said right now was so awesome for the next thing, because you're actually talking about integrity And that's the next thing that we have here about how you disqualify yourself is by not behaving with integrity. So those people that you just described are people that are not behaving with integrity. I'm really happy to say that the people that we're with, like Ryan, Shayla, Brandy, Jareem, like all the people that Angie, like all the people that we have here, Jennifer, all the people we have here are people with high integrity that during the crisis, during this year and everything that has happened, we've all shown up regardless of what's happening. We're trying to show up bigger, harder. Like I spoke to Brand I spoke to Brandy last week, and Brandy was saying something about this to me. She was saying that we, our circle, we're people who are always trying to help others we're not in competition with each other, and that we're all trying to help people move forward. And so I really like that she said that. And I think that's why we're like all magnets attracting each other, because we do want to behave with integrity, and we are trying to help people move forward with their goals and their dreams. So that was a really good point you made, Mr. Raymond.
Well, she doesn't call herself the connector for no reason. That's why she calls herself the connector.
Yeah, that's true. That's what that's what she does. That's how she's trying to connect all of us with Exposure TV and all this stuff, which I never got the link for last night, so I missed that. I didn't even get to be on it.
Neither did I. So I didn't get it either.
We gotta talk. Yeah, we gotta talk about that.
So can I say something on this?
Dang straight. She's so country.
Listen, when we talk about integrity, and integrity is integrity to me. So because I'm so I'm so much into my relationship with Christ, and I'm so much into leadership, right? Integrity is just a part of it. But this is what I teach people. Integrity is definitely a fantastic thing. You got to have integrity in everything you do, right? Because it really makes your business too. When things don't go, you're looking out for people and not yourself, right? But integrity is that kid on the schoolyard who sees another kid being picked on, and he comes home and he says, Mom and Dad, I seen poor Raymond getting picked on, man, but I didn't pick on him. And it's like, well, that's good. That's integrity. You didn't involve yourself. See, I want to raise up leaders that have character. I want to raise up leaders that don't just have integrity. I want to raise up leaders that have character. And those are the people that see that kid getting picked on the schoolyard, and they go over there and say, no, this ain't going to happen. And they actually will risk danger, risk harm, risk verbal attacks on themselves in order to stand up for somebody who's not necessarily able to stand up for themselves. Right? I have a handicapped daughter. So I see the way people act and treat people who are different. So I always try to tell people, like, it's getting on a school bus, when we think of like school shootings, and I'm not trying to really, but like when we think of these kids that have these mental, just destructive patterns, I always tell my kids, and I tell kids on my football team, when you make fun of a kid, you know what I mean? Like that goes deep down into them. And what you guys got to understand, I'm not telling you to be friends with the kid who is maybe a little different. But what I'm telling you is, when you get on a school bus, when you pass them in a hallway, you nod your head at them and you say, hey, what's up, buddy? And you keep on walking. Because the words that you can do, the character you have, the leadership you have, the power you have over people, whether you know it or not, people are watching us. People are watching us, and they're so used to people failing them. They're so used to people going against their word. They're so used to people not moving in the direction that they say they're going. So behind the scenes, people are watching you, and it's already hard enough for people to trust other people. But when you lack character, right? Then I'm such, if you guys that know me, character is the first and foremost of everything that I do. And I think it's so important that we lead that way, that we lead our businesses that way. We lead our coaching that way. We lead our relationships that way. We lead our children that way. Do we fail? Do we fall? Absolutely. Shayla, when your children act out of line, sometimes you go out of character, right? But, you can repent, so to say. You can ask for forgiveness. But, if you want to come out of character, your kids will be the first one to get you to go there. So fun. But I
That's
just,
true.
you know, I think it's so. I just want, you know, when we talk about leadership, I don't take it lightly. I don't take it lightly, and I want to be the one that actually stands on the front line and takes the hits for those people that I'm trying to lead.
I was just looking at the word character. We all know that Raymond's big on character. That was very, very well spoken. Yes, Ray, you know I know. Oh wait, she says, yes, Ray, you know I know.
Yep, them kids will get you out of
she's
character real
she's talking
fast.
about getting out of character.
Them kids, hey,
I
look,
did
them
last
kids.
Sunday. She said I did last Sunday, to be honest.
Look, Sarai just tried to tell me I was getting out of character, and I wasn't. That's about that. What happened right there was about respect.
Ooh.
That's what that was about.
Oh man. Oh man. I need to be quiet. I need to be quiet. I need to be quiet. Genuinely being friends with someone who may be physically different, learn different, and get around differently will also go a long way. Yes, that is so
Absolutely.
powerful. Yes, that is
Absolutely.
like that's why it's so important to travel and learn new cultures and meet different kinds of people and just sort of like get out of like what you think is the norm, because
You know who's
the
incredible?
norm.
You know who's
Who?
incredible? One of the most incredible men that I've never met. I said men, dear.
I know you
But
said
one of
that
the
after.
most incredible men that I've never met him physically is Tim Tebow. Tim
I don't know
Tebow,
what that is.
if you guys know anything about Tim Tebow is an amazing, amazing man. If you guys know that Tim Tebow, he was a quarterback for the Florida Gators. He was never the best quarterback, but he was a flat out champion. I'll have to share a story with him one day that really set the tone of the Florida Gators national championship team. But he came to the NFL. Everybody talked bad about him. But what's incredible about this guy, he does this thing, and it's called a night out, and it's for handicapped and disabled children. And this is a global thing, right? Yeah, short-term Broncos quarterback. This is a global thing that he does. And he takes my daughter, actually. When we went, they did that here in this Washington County area. I'm going to tell you right now, I'll have to post some pictures. A couple years ago, we got to do it. They brought a bus. This was all free for handicapped and disabled children. And it was called a night out or something like that. And they literally, you got Down syndrome, you got cerebral palsy, you got mentally retarded, you got all kinds of disabled of all. And they dress up as if it's a ball. They dress up in these beautiful Cinderella dresses and these tuxedos. They had a band there, and they bring them in. They put crowns on the young men. They put crowns on the young ladies, and they just have this incredible night. It is and my heart, like when you get around something like that, I'm telling you right now. And Tim Tebow, he does guest appearances throughout the country. Like I'm telling you, these things are country. They're all over the world. And he is one of the most selfless men in the efforts that he does. And he's able to do it because he puts Christ first and centered over everything. And he's a man that believes completely in character. So I don't know how that came around, but I just remembered, especially having a handicapped daughter. So it's if you guys don't know who Tim Tebow is, look up Tim Tebow and look at what he does. He's just an incredible man. Sorry, I kind of know I went off track a little bit.
Well, that's okay. Connecting with people. And Angie, I think Angie's like a major advocate also of like, I want to say underdogs or people who maybe get pushed
Angel?
aside. Yeah, I said Angie. Angel is a major advocate for people, which is really awesome. And then Shayla says that part, right? Exercising your authority. The kids need to know their place. So Shayla,
Amen.
I spoil
Amen.
everybody. I spoil all people, kids, everybody. So that's why I'm always like defending the kids. Always. So I just gotta be quiet and not get into what's not my business.
But you got
I'll
to
try
remember,
not to get into anybody's business in South Carolina, because I spoil everybody.
It's and it's okay, but there also is a place, because there's
it came back.
Did it come back? Is it back?
For some reason, I can't hear you. He's messing around now. All right. So the next one is, he was about to talk, but I guess he'll talk when he come back.
Better.
The next one is, oh yeah, that's better. The next thing that disqualifies you, were you gonna say something?
No,
you were gonna
no.
say something to me because I said that I spoil everyone. You see, the minute you were gonna say something, static came in, so you can't even talk about me.
I was just gonna tell you that the Bible is, the Bible talks about, parents, how to raise their children, and children how to respect their parents. It's in there for a reason. There's rules to this thing.
My kids respect me a lot, but they do. I spoil them. You guys know I spoil them. You and Carrie know how much I spoil my kids. All right, so this is a time and place for. There's a time and place for everything. Yes, and Shayla gave me permission to spoil all the kids next week. Thank you, Shayla. All right, so the next one is the next way that we were talking about that you disqualify yourself is by waiting to be perfect to start. And we've talked about that a lot of times. Waiting to be perfect to start is a big way to disqualify yourself, because in reality, you get better by starting and like figuring out what not to do. So those things that we call failures are actually things that we want to go for, so that we can know how to do what we're doing better, right? That's the way I see it.
I think the famous quote, the best quote that I could come up with this is, you don't have to be great to get started. You got to start to be great.
Exactly. That's an excellent quote. There, you said it all right there. You said it all right there.
Yeah, pretty much.
We just need to, yeah, that's it. So that's that for that. And the next one is wait. So another big disqualifier is waiting until you feel like waiting until you feel like it to start. So yeah, I struggle with that one. So I raise my hand.
If you wait till you feel like it, it'll never get done. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I half the time I don't feel like doing it. But you
exactly.
Do it.
So
it's the habits, right?
We got to do it because we're committed to our dream and we're committed to our goals. And that's the difference. That is the difference between someone that succeeds and someone who doesn't. Like someone who spends years and doesn't get closer to their goals. It has to do with this right here, because none of us feel like it. Like I feel like it a lot of times, but a lot of times I don't feel like it. A lot of times I don't feel like it, and I'm losing that battle right now. I'm actually, what do I need to do to get more on video? I need to do, like Carrie and I had a conversation, I would say a month ago, when we had the Do the Damn Thing challenge. And I had a whole conversation with her about how I'm going to start sending her videos and whatever. And I still have, it's been a month or 5 weeks and I still haven't done it. So I need help. I'm drowning in this thing.
And the funny thing is I don't know what you're talking about. You do this Wednesday night. You got your Thrive Talk tomorrow.
I know.
Like you're like the only thing that
I need to do my once a week YouTube video. I need to do my
once a week. Okay. Then you just do it.
It's not. Yeah, I know. I just got to do it. I guess that's what I just got to do it.
You guys see this, right? We're having a little coaching session right here.
I even have it in my schedule. I have it on my calendar. I have it on my calendar. It's going to be done on Monday. And me and Carrie and I agreed that on Tuesday I was going to send it to her. And none of that has happened because I am procrastinating. Oh God.
Brandy said, "Get it done, woman."
I know, Brandy. I'm having such a hard time with this thing. Anyway, let me not make it about me. But I know, like, you guys must have something like this in your life. Don't be acting like you don't have this. You have this.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Everything we're talking about, we're talking to winners. We're talking to winners. We're talking to people who have gone through, every single one of us on here. I guarantee you, if we had a one-on-one conversation or a group conversation, each and every single one of us would be able to tell you every situation we're talking about tonight that we've been through. And we're going to talk about the way we overcome it. And that's why we're coaches and mentors and that we're leaders, is because we've overcome it. We've processed through it. And now all we want to do is help other people get it, which is why we talk on it. We're not the ones that sits here and talks about things that we don't go through ourselves. That'd be a hypocrite. The Bible talks about being a hypocrite. We're not hypocrites. We've gone through the struggle. We've been abandoned.
Yeah.
We've been in prison. We've been addicted. We've been sexually abused. You know what I mean? We've been through that stuff. And then through adulthood, we started to overcome it. And then we had to have setbacks. We had people telling us because of the way we used to be, why we couldn't succeed. Somebody's always got something they're going through, right? The storm, you're either in a storm, going into a storm, or coming out of a storm, but there's always a freaking storm brewing, baby. You know?
Exactly. That's so good that you said that. There's always a storm. And we cannot use the storm as the reason why we're not doing stuff. But I don't know why. I really love what Ryan just said. Look what he said. He said, lean back and float when the flood seems too high to reach the goal, Sarai.
Amen.
That is,
Amen.
I love that. You know what, Ryan? You need to put
the ships, did you know all ships rise in the tide and all ships lower with the tide? So we have to be, no matter how big the ship is. See, this is the great thing is the people that are farther along than other people, maybe they're on a yacht. Maybe you're on a freaking rowboat. Literally, maybe you're on a rowboat. But you know, the great thing is they got on that yacht the same way you're going to get on that yacht. And when you're on the same ocean, you're traveling the same waters they are. You just have different things that we all have to perfect our defects of character. We all have to perfect the demons that we deal with. We all have to perfect it, right? Not that we'll ever be perfect, but we will pursue excellence in the process. So always remember, we are all traveling in the same waters. And when that yacht rises, our boat rises with it. We're just in a different time. We're in a different time and space right now. But when you stay consistent and you stay persistent and you don't let the negativity and you stay grateful for the journey that you're on, man, I'm telling you right now, things you just start to see things differently. Even when everything around you seems like it's not going right, when you're on that water. And you got people like Sarai around you. You got people like Brandy, and you got people like Carrie, and you got Anthony Williams, and you got Ryan, and you got other people that you see. You know what? I know they're dealing with something, but they're still doing it, and it just keeps your ship afloat too. And I love that. I love that.
I put fire for you right now. Look, the spirit got into you. The spirit like that was there on Sunday is here today too, because that was good. That was good. That was really, really good. And that story you just told about the yacht and that was, you need to write that up. That was really, really good. Look what Jareem is telling me. Cut my hair. He says cut my hair so I could then maybe I'll do the video. Oh. Hey, is this your family member, Trav Wright?
No, we were actually talking about that the other day. We could be. You never know.
You never know. All right, and then the last thing that we had here was not knowing when to say yes or no to something, to the things that pop up. So, like when you're on your path to your dream, to your greatness, to that thing that was put inside of you, you know what happens? Then you get other like pop-ups. You get a pop-up of a what looks like an opportunity, pop up here, and then you like get all distracted and confused, and you don't know like, should you say yes? It looks so shiny and gold and beautiful, and you're like this, and you're like you don't know what to do, what you should say yes, and but what if I miss the opportunity? And then you start like doing all that stuff to yourself, and you know what happens? It distracts you from your path. What's funny?
It's like the bubble. It's like it's like the bubble wrap. It's like
And then you know what happens? Then those two words pop up. When that happens, the two words pop up of I'm so confused, I don't know what to do, or I'm so overwhelmed, there's so much to do and I don't know what to do. And those two words keep you in inaction. Those are the two guys, those two words right there. If you hear yourself or you hear someone else saying I am confused or I'm so overwhelmed, which I'm gonna put somebody out there. Raymond is always confused and I'm always overwhelmed. So like those are words that, that's us right there. We're always saying that. Actually, I hear you saying overwhelmed too, and I hear myself saying confused. So every time you say that, you know what you're really doing? You're giving yourself a justification to not move forward with whatever it is that you need to move forward with. So
ain't no doubt.
You need to like pay attention to the words that you're using. And so I'm making you aware of this because every time you use it, I want my voice to pop up in your head and go, ooh, Sarai said, that's the reason why I'm not moving. So you need to be paying attention to that and hear yourself when you say it. Raymond, every time that you say, I'm confused or I'm overwhelmed, I wish my voice pops up in your head going, you better do what you got to do, because I know you're about to use that as an excuse to not do what you got to do today. And then you're going to leave it for tomorrow. But then if you said confused today, that means tomorrow you're going to be saying overwhelmed.
Well.
So anyway, guys, I use those words too. I word tone as well. Wait, what is Clinton? Clinton Mansfield says tone as well. I don't know what he meant by that, but yeah. Oh, the tone that you use while you're saying that? Trav says, you all inspire me. We all inspire each other, Trav. We all truly inspire each other. Like, everyone in here is so amazing. When I identified my path and started my walk, I learned to say no. Yes.
And Shayla knows
true.
because Shayla mentioned earlier about being a people pleaser. And that goes hand in hand, because that was me. I wanted to please people because I wanted to do everything they wanted me to do. And I noticed, and it's exhausting. 3 months later, you're like, why am I farther away from where I wanted to be? And I've done 10 times the work.
Exactly. Hey, I think Boss Lady is here. Look.
That's my boss lady right there.
Say no sucks, but man, it feels good looking back on said situations. Like, you guys tell you what to do. Yep, exactly.
Listen,
what were you gonna say?
I just know, for me, I want everybody to like, as I wrap up my last, because I know we got to get off of here. But so if it was left up to everything that I wanted to do, I would have stayed dumb, broke, stupid, and drunk, you know? But it was the fact that there was always something more. And I could tell you so many stories where, you know, I never stretched myself. I never thought I was good enough. I never thought, but when I got sober, and I stayed sober for 13 years, and we would call that a dry addict or a dry alcoholic, you know, I didn't use and I didn't drink, but what I did is I stayed in that lifestyle. I stayed in the mindset where I was still an addict, where I still behaved with all the manners. I didn't change anything. This is where I have a hard time with the room sometimes, is because the Alcoholics Anonymous room and the Narcotics Anonymous room is great for getting people sober. But sometimes, a lot of times, you could be sober 10, 15, 20 years, and you haven't really changed who you are. You're still the same person, minus, you know, the drugs and the alcohol. And I think what's important is it's the same way in life. It's the same way in life. You go from these trauma situations. You go from these situations where you've been in the pit of the dungeon, the belly of the beast, and you start to get older. And what you do is you tend to say yes to all the people who are keeping you in a broken and drunken state. So we say yes to all the people who are not really moving our lives forward. Yes, they'll be there for you when you get your heart broken and go have a drink with you. Yes, they'll cuss somebody out for you. Yes, they'll come pick you out when you're piss-faced drunk sitting on the side of the road. Yes, but are those truly the people that are encouraging you? No, they're the ones that are telling you, F that guy, he doesn't deserve you. F your mom this. They're not actually edifying and glorifying you and lifting you up to a place. And those are so many of the people that we don't say no to, right? So the most important thing is I'm going to be flat out honest with you. And I think we talked about it with Anthony and Flo last Wednesday is you know, you get to a point in your life where you're always going to love your family. Sometimes you're just going to love them from afar. You're always going to love those people that you built great friendships with, but you're just going to love them from afar. And where they want it to go, most people will lead them their ways out of your life. See, there's this thing where no matter where you go, there are people that only get where they're going is because they're lying in bed with the enemy. They're doing things, they're saying yes, that are out of character, that are out of integrity. They're not doing it for the right reasons. They're doing it to glorify themselves. And in return, other people want them to glorify them back. See, I don't do that. You will never get me to pick a side. You will never get me to say something that puts somebody else down, right? So with me is that whole yes and no thing. It's got to become so important to me because it's always got to be about moving my movement forward? What's my movement? The kingdom of God. How do I do it? By performing and pursuing everything that God puts in front of me. And a lot of times those no's are going to move me closer to my goals. But every time I say yes, it's like I'm saying no to myself by saying yes to somebody else.
Exactly. Say it again. Say it again. People need to hear that. Because that is so true.
By saying no to myself, it takes me farther away from my goals. And by saying yes to other people, it's the same thing. It drives me away from the calling that I've been called to do. You're going to say yes to some things, but this is when you say yes, is that truly moving your efforts forward? Or are you just saying yes to please somebody? Because if you're only doing it to please somebody, then a lot of times you're going to fall short with the feeling you're trying to get from it anyways.
Yeah, and then, life is so short. Life is so short. And if we're just people pleasing and doing what others want us to do, taking us off track, nobody has authority over our divine calling. No one has authority over that. Like, no one should take us off our track. I just learned that it's going to be 2 years pretty soon. I learned that a year and 8 or 9 months ago. And look at how long it took me to learn that. I wish I would have really learned that a long time ago, but I'm on my path, I'm on my journey, and everything happens the way it needs to happen. But don't let anyone take you off your path, guys. You matter. What was gifted to you matters. Your divine purpose matters. You're the one that came with that. You're the one that was gifted that, and you're the one that has to deliver it. So don't let anyone take you off your path. I guess that's my main message. The only way you're going to truly be your greatest self, your most authentic self, the only way you're going to really deliver what it is you came to earth to deliver is by being all you, 100% you, and not letting others take you off track. Even if it's your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, your whatever it is, don't let anyone take you off your track. And you could say no thank you with respect. You don't have to get angry. Everyone has their way of saying things. Just respectfully say, okay, thank you for your opinion, thank you for your input, and ultimately make your own decision. So this was an awesome conversation. I really, really want to tell everyone how much I love them. Shayla, Trav is new to us, and Trav, I'm already loving him too. Jareem wakes up at 3 or 4 in the morning to be here with us. Clinton Mansfield, once a month we have guests on our show, so we got to figure out who we're gonna have this coming month. Brandy, everyone, all of you guys.
I thought we were having teenagers. I thought we were having the young men and women, your son and his friend. I thought we were doing that.
Yeah, for October, we are doing that for October. Yes, we are doing that, and we're meeting more kids now when we go to South Carolina. Oh, guys, by the way, dun dun dun. So Raymond has a new show coming up tomorrow, not at my time, because my time is 7:30. So at 7:30, I have Thrive Talk, but at 8:30, Raymond has a new show he's going to be doing every Thursday. So we're going to be back to back. So I do 7:30. I do my interview with someone who's overcome major adversity, but they're champions and doing for others. And now Raymond has a new thing that he's doing that is called...
It's called Next Generation Leaders.
Next Generation Leaders, people. So
tomorrow you'll see the post come out. So tomorrow is the inaugural one, right? Did I say that word right? It's the inaugural one where it's going to be a young lady named Jocelyn Hockaday. She's a 17-year-old young lady, a senior in high school, plays ball. But she is a phenomenal young lady, and she's an activist, and she's a great leader. So my whole object of this show, Thursday for now, I'm thinking about moving it to Monday at a later date. But for Thursday for now, so the next 2 Thursdays are going to be with young Jocelyn, and then the next week is going to be with who I call Boss Lady, with Crystal. She was on here tonight. Those are going to be my first 2 guests. The whole purpose of this is because I believe that there are incredible leaders. And Angel will definitely
why am I saying Angie so much? Angel, I'm sorry.
Angel will definitely be on there. I have a list. I definitely have a list. Angel is always on my list. But the whole purpose is because there's not a lot of recognition that goes out. And I know some of us don't do it for recognition, but I think it's important for people to know who we are, because we don't know where our business partner or our next investment's going to come from. So I really want to expose the great works that a lot of these next generation leaders are doing. And that's in Crystal. Thank you. And I know Crystal, when you see her next week, there's amazing things coming from people that most people would look at and say, what do you guys, you're only this or you're only that, you're just average. But I'm telling you right now, the most phenomenal things come from average people, because we don't see ourselves as average. You know what they say? And then we got to go. I actually got a mentor session with a young man in Indiana at 8:30. And he's going to be on the show eventually too. But they say this, they say most leaders don't see themselves as a big shot. They're just a little shot that keeps on shooting.
And with that one, and I don't think anybody's average. I think if you're average, you're choosing to be average, because none of us were born to be average. None of us were born to be average. We were all born with something amazing. So none of us was born to be average. And so Shayla's saying she has a show at 7:30 on Thursday night too. So
Spanish speaking audiences, you gotta put that on, because I know some Spanish people that it's funny, because Spanish people will message me on Messenger and I got to go to translate so I can communicate with them back and forth.
Oh man, I need to speak Spanish better.
Shayla. Hey Shayla, I have Spanish conversations because of Translate. I have no idea. They send it in Spanish. I go to translate. I translate it to English, and then I type it in English and then translate it back to Spanish and send it back to them. It takes a lot of time, but
cool.
But it really does. I mean, when it's amazing, the people that are watching, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I love you guys so much. You guys are phenomenal.
Angel, I say Angie because your name is throwing me off the way you have it written there, Angelique. Like, so that makes me say Angie. Like instead of saying Angie. Oh, whatever. All right. Anyway, all right. So good night, everyone. We love you. Thanks for showing up. We are here for you too. And see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.